This video was sponsored by Enhance, NeoWatt, A Better Road Planner, Elbilmek, Kempower and Bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? Today we're going to do a degradation test of this Tesla Model S from 2016. It's 10 years old. It's an 85D. And did I buy it? No. It belongs to my friend in Göteborg. So we did a 1,000 kilometer challenge. Valdemar did some check on the condition, how it looks like. And I want to know how much degradation do we have after 10 years, but only 75,000 kilometers. Well, let's find out. So I charge the car to 100%. Well, actually, I charge it to 96% during the night. And then in the morning, I topped it up to 100%, but it took really long from 96 to 100%. And now it is at 99%. I saw 100% in the app earlier. And if we see here, we had 99.3%. And then there's some battery power going on. And well, it was not so, this is strange. What is going on here? I don't know. Maybe it's doing balancing or I don't know. But it was pulling 2 amp from the charger just now. Okay, whatever. We're going to do the test. But you see here, I have this Aviloo box. I will try to run the Aviloo simultaneously, but I think the Aviloo box will detect that there is something else on the CAN bus, and it's like, you're not gonna run it. So we'll see. Might have to disconnect this, but I'll show you that. At least now we have 70.3 kilowatt hour net capacity down to 0%. We'll only measure down to 0%, and then we'll see how much we actually get out of it then. Okay, for the sake of the test, I'm going to try this. Oh yeah, Metron cable, really awesome, because it has this Tesla remote plug thingy. Normally when we do this, oh, it turns green, huh? What about the Easy Box? Is it charging? Wait, starting to charge, huh? Really? Seems like nothing is happening. Charging complete. Okay, yeah. Well, let's run the test today and then maybe we'll redo the test again another day. Oh, great news. We can do the Aviloo test. You see, it says 99.3, very accurate. Simultaneously as we have this active, ScanMyTesla. Okay, well, that's good. Let's go. Okay, we're on the move. We're actually gonna cruise at 120 on the speed, which is 118 GPS speed. The beauty with Aviloo test is that it actually takes in account battery temperature and power output and corrects for that if you hammer it. Because when you hammer it, you have higher power output and more heat loss. So ideally, I want to cruise maybe at 90 kilometers per hour to get the lowest loss. But I'm going to look at this also to see how many kilowatt hour get out of the battery. Look here. There are some curves on the motorway. What happens with the autopilot? Does it slow down? 9, because this is Tesla tech. See, many cars I test nowadays from the east, they tend to slow down in these curves. Super annoying. Here, no problemo. Goes through the curve, goes the same speed as the other cars actually. Yeah. So we're down to 22% now. Look at the consumption, 219 watt hour per kilometer. That ain't too bad in it. So yeah, I navigated now to Jessheim. Car estimates 7% of arrival. It's highly accurate. So I'll probably drive slightly more north before I turn around. I'm gonna try to go deep, like 1% or 0% deep. Well, we are home. Done. D-O-N. We actually went slightly below. So we spent 0.1 kilowatt or extra. And then the trip meter here shows 69.2, so we counted as 69.1 only. But you see that we have over 1 kilowatt hour loss here. What the heck is that loss thing? Well, it's just heat because we hammered it. The more you hammer, the more losses you have. But hopefully we see the true result in the Aviloo test. But we have to wait for the Aviloo result to come in a couple of days. Wait, so the Aviloo test says, okay, 0%, but it says here, keep the Aviloo box connected for at least 2 minutes after turning off your vehicle. Well, how do I turn off a Tesla? maybe they need to update that text. Well, there's a power off some here, safety. Yeah, here, but I mean, nobody uses that in a Tesla. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna plug in now. I don't want to stay at 0% for too long. Oh yeah, we're charging now, taking 10 kilowatts. Yeah, 3-phase for the win. And then here you can see, we're like, oh, Bjorn, you're hurting the battery. Well, the cell voltage was at 3.2 31T. Wow, really? 50 millivolt. Okay, but that's somewhat common when you go deep. So it's not that low. I've seen below 3 volts. And actually, we have a massive 6 kilowatt hour buffer below 0%. So, well, I guess if people are up for it, I can do a 0-mile test and see if we can get 6 kilowatt hour out of it. I can also ask the owner if he's up for it or not. Well, okay, yeah, right, all good. All right, it's been around 24 hours since we finished the test. We're still waiting for the Aviloo result, but it's Saturday today, so I'm guessing it will arrive on Monday. But ever since then, I charged the car on AC. I tapped down the power to around 3.5 kilowatt, and then just slowly charge it back to 100%. And then they finished charging 1.5 hours ago. So this is a method I heard some people say, yeah, when you want to calibrate the battery to measure it fullest, you can do this. It's gonna hurt the battery slightly, but I just wanna see how much kilowatt hour can we get out of the battery now. So yeah, I guess we'll just keep it plugged in, and then we plug in ScanMyTesla again. Oh, this is interesting. I guess it finished at 100%, right? I didn't see it because I was asleep. Actually, I've been driving a 1,000 kilometer challenge last night with another car. And now it's at 98%. Earlier when I looked in the app, it was at 99%. So something is happening. Okay, maybe you can see here what's going on. Well, we are pulling 440 watts, possibly because we're sitting in the car, but is it balancing the cells? Or what's going on? Why is it dropping? Is it vampire drain, the classic Model S vampire drain? I'm not sure, but 69.6 kilowatt hour nominal remaining minus this. If we charge it to 100%, how much do we get then? No, sorry, this is one. Not here, this is one. This minus this, we still get 70.7 kilowatt hour. So this exercise that people have been talking about, I'm not sure if it helps. We tried all the methods now, but yeah, and then maybe some people say, oh, okay, you have to let it sit even longer. But okay, I think we are already done pretty good measurement, done all the methods. So I'll probably just disconnect now, or cut the power from the EC, and then just run the HVAC to discharge it a bit lower. So I don't want to let it sit at 98% too long. So if we do this and just tap down the temperature, for example, it's been sitting in the sun here. Maybe we can also take down the state of charge, the charge limit. We'll see that it starts pulling something here, 1 kilowatt. But then also, yeah, it starts pulling from the EC, which is a good thing. This is good design. I test cars in 2026 that doesn't do this. But I'm gonna pause it to prevent it from pulling power from the plug right now. So then it says charger over, okay, whatever. So now we will discharge. Then I'll go inside and do my business with the family, and then I pay attention to what's going on in the app. Yeah, should be good enough now. And you know, in the service menu, you can have this battery self-test feature, right? Where it, I think it will charge it and then discharge it by using the heater and then measure the battery. And it needs a while, you know, probably a day or so to do it. Well, I checked it in the service menu. I couldn't find it here. So I suspect that this car is so old that it doesn't have that feature. You probably need Model 3 or Model Y or something newer to be able to do that test, the self-test or whatever it's called, right? But we have done now the Aviloo test, which should be really accurate to measure how good health the battery is. So now we want to keep it in good health. I actually avoided too much supercharging, actually not much at all. I'm mostly just AC charging, and now we just bring the stellar charge down again. Alright, it's been a couple of days, and the result from the Aviloo is here. So you see that we have 96% stellar health. That is incredibly good. Manufactured in 2016, so the car is 10 years old. But Aviloo claimed 70.5 kilowatt hour net capacity, and then 73.5 when it was new, and then the range numbers, okay. But if we look at Aviloo, it also logs that we started 99, even though it was 99.3%, and we added with zeros. It actually calculated all the way down to zero. Despite that at 10% it said, okay, the test is done. So it seems like if you want a more accurate result, you can actually go down to zero. And it also takes in account the battery temperature when it started, 18, 19 degrees, and then we ended at 43, 45 degrees Celsius, and the voltages. So Aviloo test is quite extensive. On the page 2, you will see a lot of explanation what it's doing, and you know, it's taking all the variables from the CAN bus and analyzes it against a quite big data set it has to try to figure out as accurate as possible how the battery is holding up. But then when I tested it, I got a slightly different result. You know, many years ago, when I claimed that I tested the battery, I claimed that it was 75 kilowatt hour net capacity, but Aviloo claimed 73.5. But then when I actually look at my old video, when Millennium Falcon second battery, the Pack D, whatever it's called, was quite new, only driven about 1,000 kilometers, it turns out that I got 73.3 kilowatt hour out of the battery. So I actually never got 75. So I actually go and correct my own data here, and then we actually get slightly better result than I initially thought. So 73.5 versus yeah, that I got, by the way, on my test was 69.6, not 70.5 kilowatt hour. So why is this? Well, because battery theory is that actually practical also. I've done many tests to show this, that when you hammer it, you have more losses. That's why the battery temperature goes up. Well, partly true. This is a car, actually, same with Millennium Falcon. They have some alien technology called heat scavenging. So it will actually take the heat from the motor and then feeds the battery with it to heat up the battery. But cars without this, they can only heat up itself by discharging, right? Because of internal resistance. But when you measure, I believe the way it works is that when the BMS measures how many kilowatt hours is going through or out of the battery, it can do that, of course, and then feed the motor and then whatever happens there, right? But it cannot measure how much it loses by discharging at high C rate or high current. So in general, when you're hammering it, this is what I experienced when I hammered in Germany many years ago, for example, that I would get less kilowatt hour out of the battery. It appears to be like, well, I mean, practically it is, because more of that goes into heat, and heat is not very useful. In some cases, in Tesla, you can actually scavenge the heat from the battery to make the consumption go down again. So that's wonderful, Tesla alien technology. But okay, back to this. So 69.6, why was my result lower? Well, because I was actually running kind of low on time. So I hammered at 118 kilometers per hour. I believe if I went slower, the consumption would be lower. We would have lower losses. And then maybe if I drove at 90 kilometers per hour when it wasn't so cold outside, I might get over 70 kilowatt hour. So do we believe in my test or the Aviloo test? I would actually more believe in the Aviloo test, because it takes into account so many variables. And if I would redo this car, not sure if you guys are up for it. I have to spend all day, because it seems like we can drive over 400 kilometers, especially if it's warm outside like nowadays, you know, spring is coming. Then, okay, we can get over 70 kilowatt hour possibly. But whatever, you know, my test and the Aviloo test shows what I've been claiming for the longest time, which is that when it comes to battery degradation, it's not time that kills the battery, it's the number of cycles, or like, translated to if you drive the car, discharge it and charge it. This car has actually mostly been AC charged, not DC charged, but we don't know the effect of DC charging versus AC charging, but we know the theory behind it, that the hotter the battery gets, also the higher discharge or charge rate it gets, meaning fast charging or hammering it, full wide open throttle, then that also degrades the battery faster. So, but yeah, again, I was right. Age doesn't kill the battery. It might have a tiny little effect on it, but it depends also how you've been treating the battery. If you charge the battery to only 80% and you discharge it to only 30%, right? Versus if you let it sit still at 0% for several months, or camp at 100% too long over time, that is not healthy. But over time, it's the number of cycles, even though you took really good care of the battery, even if it's an Ioniq battery, as long as it has lots of cycles, it will degrade faster than a car that doesn't have that many cycles or haven't driven that much, also translated. So yes, very interesting. That's going to be for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.